thank you so very much for joining us. This is still Enterprise Television. Let's take our story, a special reportage that we have to the south region of Nigeria, particularly Delta State, where we have it that in a nation where power lies a snake across the skies, yet entire communities remain in darkness. Silence is no longer golden, it is damning. The people of Ndokwa Ndoshimili long denied electricity despite hosting key infrastructure for Nigeria's power grid, dared to raise their voices. But what they received in return was not hope or empathy, it was scorn. Deputy Governor Monday Oyema, rather than address their cries with the weight of leadership, dismissed them as noise. A careless remark that laid bare not only his detachment from the suffering of his people, but also his loyalty to political optics over public service. Asking why his people hadn't gone to Aso Rock was not just tone deaf, it was insulting. This is not a story about electricity alone. It is about dignity, justice, and leadership gone rogue. And as Ndokwa stands on the edge of a new reckoning, one thing is certain: they will rise, not because of Monday Oyema, but in spite of him. And I have joining me distinguished comrades and members of the Light Up Ndokwa Movement Association. Via Zoom, we have Comrade Stanley Ado, Comrade Lucky Oligo, Comrade Moses Onyeugu, and right here in our studios we have Comrade Barrister Evans Ufeli. Thank you so very much for joining us today.
Very well, thank you.
Thank you so very much, gentlemen. I hope you are all, you can all hear me.
Yes, yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you clearly.
All right, I think, can you all hear me? All right, I think we're having a little bit of a glitch there, but of course we have them on, and of course we'll be talking about this as we move on, and hopefully we'll get everything all sorted out. But let's start with you, Ambassador Evans Ufeli, on what it's happened, especially with the viral video going round. The Deputy Governor of Delta State, Oyema, raised issues that Oyema, yes, raised issues that didn't go down well with the people. Can you help us?
Well, I think the Deputy Governor misunderstood the struggle for the liberation of Ndokwa people as it relates to power supply.
Okay.
He misdirected himself when he said that what the protesters did, or what we all constituted to do, was a noise, and he called it a useless noise. And I beg to disagree. It was not a noise. I mean, when you have kept people in darkness for so long, you know, and they see neighboring villages and other communities in the same states where there are power supply, there's always that need to agitate, because we are all from the same state. We are supposed to be treated all equal.
Okay.
Especially when from that area of the community of the states where we're talking about Ndokwa, that contributes so much to the energy development of this country, where you have a community that powers Aso Rock, where you have a power supply in huge quantity, gas supply in huge quantity that is taken step down Obosi and transmitted to Abuja and the rest of that. So, having been in that darkness for 20 years plus, the people decided, after making frantic effort to see that the government comes to the aid of the people, because all our cries falls to deaf ears, we decided that, you know what, the Light Up Ndokwa Movement Association decided to stage a protest, which is the constitutional right of citizens. Instead of the government to call for consultation and negotiation and communication, so that there'll be harmonious understanding about what exactly they are doing to put up the light up there, they decided to call the police to clamp down on our kinsmen, chase our kinsmen away, destroy their motorcycles, injured many of them, use canisters and different kind of weapons, to disperse them and injure a lot of persons. So we find that rather disconcerting, to say the least. And we thought we were lucky because the deputy governor is from Ndokwa. We thought we were lucky, but at the end of the day, look at what he's saying. First, he misunderstood the protest. He misunderstood the entire thing. He before now, he said in the next 1 or 2 months, you're going to have power. It's long past 1 month. There's no power yet. He keeps saying there's power here, there's power there, there's power there. But when you go there, there's nothing like power.
I think we have to really drill down to which part of Ndokwa he is from. Maybe his own part of Ndokwa has a little bit of that advantage. He's making it look like it's.
No, there's no light in the whole of Ndokwa Federal Constituency.
Yes. So he is affected.
There's no light. Some people claim that part of Okwane, there's light.
Where he's from?
No, not where he's from.
Okay.
You understand? So some people claim that there's light in those areas, but at the end of the day, when you look at it round, there's really no visible. The one that the association is agitating for, okay, is the step down, the 33 line, okay. That not this one that has to do with power holding and all that. As an energy producing area, there's this advantage that comes with it, okay, which has been agreed upon, okay, awarded and all that, but never took off. Okay, so that is the one that we're actually agitating for. The one he's talking about is this power holding Jinko Bidek.
Okay.
You understand? That is the one that is generally for people, whether you are oil producing or not, and all that. But that's not exactly the one I'm talking about. You understand? The one I'm talking about is the 33 line, the step down, that is supposed to give us uninterrupted power supply as, people from an area that contribute immensely to the center and to government.
All right, so let's drill more to some of these things. And I'd love to go to you, Comrade Stanley. Ado, are you there? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly. Good evening. I said I can hear you clearly. Good evening. Hello? Hello? Moses, hope you can hear me. I don't know why they're not hearing us.
How has it been so far, especially with what you've been through?
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Stanley Kemado. Just like what Chief Barrister Evans just rightly said, what our people are agitating for, what we're agitating for, is a step down of power from the independent power plant, which the federal government, the government of the then President Olusegun Obasanjo have approved to the host communities within the Ndokwa people since 2005 that they should step down 50 megawatts for the host community, spread it across 50-kilometer radius. Until date, such has not happened. That is why we took to the streets after due consultation with our kinsmen, wrote a letter, sent the letters to all the security agencies, all the appropriate quarters, and give a date for it. Before the protests were not called to talk about dialogue or find a way to reason together to see the need, why this step down should happen to us, or it should be given to us, or what is holding it. The next thing we saw on that day of the protest was police people being called by our people, our brother, the deputy governor, to come and disperse us off from the protest ground before we were arrested That day, many of us were arrested. About 15 persons were arrested. Some persons have their bikes destroyed. Some, they even took those bikes to Asaba. Some bikes are still in Asaba till date as I speak with you. Some were burnt. Some laptops, speakers, controller, DJ controlling machine destroyed. A lot of persons were injured. Their live ammunition were shot at persons, if not for the grace of God. Tear gas got a lot of people injured. And still, they are not even coming to tell us, please, oh, sorry for what happened, though. It was not our intention. The next thing we hear again is we're making noise. So we just want to let him understand that the agitation of the Ndokwa people, the Light of Ndokwa Nation Movement Association, LUMA, we are not noisemakers. We are agitating for our rights and we stand on our rights. Make sure that the step down of power from the IPP is given onto the Ndokwa people. We can't be hosting a gigantic project that is supplying 9 states and the Aso Rock, and yet we, the host communities, are not having access to that power. This is a gross marginalization to our people. So we are sending this message to him, let him know that we are not relenting. The struggle continues. He should stop saying that we are making noise. He should find a way to do the needful. As a deputy governor, we're supposed to be happy that we have a number 2 man in Delta State, but it's as if his presence is becoming a cost to us. But we thank God for this wonderful association, the committee, thanking God also for our barrister that is making sure that we tread carefully and guiding us in the right direction. And by the grace of God, we know we are going to achieve the victory. Thank you very much.
I do appreciate everything you have said, but if I might ask, you were arrested. On what grounds was it carried out, really? And where are we now with that particular situation?
When I was arrested, they said because I am the leader of the protests, the organizer of the protests, the secretary of the protests. I said yes. Actually, I'm the secretary from the onset, one of the organizers. But when they were trying to find the words from me, I refused giving them what they want to hear. Who is the leader? I said, I'm the leader. They say, you can't be the leader and be the secretary. I said, I'm the leader, I'm the secretary. Who are the organizers? I said, I'm the organizer. So with that, they just took me down to state CID after much interrogation, trying to get some words out of me, which I couldn't give to them. And the next thing was to keep me there without granting me bail, citing an executive order. You understand? So they didn't even have any ground why they arrested me, because all security agencies got the letters from us, which I personally submitted to them and have a received copy from them. So when I presented those documents, those letters, they don't even know what to do anymore. But because the order has come from the deputy governor to keep me there, they have no other choice than to do their bidding. The Delta State Police Command is one of the worst and most corrupt police command in this country. They are just there to do the biddings of the politicians, irrespective of either the person in their custody is right or wrong. They don't care. So at the end of the day, they couldn't find anything. There was they have no ground to say that this is the reason why I and the persons they arrested were arrested. So that's just it. Thank you.
Go to you, Comrade Lucky. When you compare your community, the Ndokwa community, with other communities in Delta State, would it be said that you have not been treated fairly, or is this a generalized situation in Delta State?
Yeah, thank you very much for this question. Once again, Mr. Lucky Yogu, speaking from Europe. Of a truth, electricity make a community to be a better place for people to invest. And we have seen it that in our community or in our region, a lot of things have been lacking, especially for those of us who are maybe in the diaspora. Bringing in investment without electricity supply is a big problem. And as a community who have been or as a region that have been contributing to the economic growth of that state, we are denying a lot of opportunities. And in terms of your question, yes, there are other communities who are even benefiting what we have. And that is why when we look at it generally, we say, no, enough is enough. The only way we can speak out to the general public, the only way we can speak out to the government, that is the only area to come out for protest. So our region has been denied a lot of opportunities because other communities are going on with light. So for we felt that it's like we have been evangelized. For we not to have light, everything is within us. So it is very important that we let them to know that this is what we are asking for. And what we are asking for is our right. And not only that it's our right, it's also in our land. So that is why we decide to come out and say, enough of this darkness. You cannot imagine someone who has been in darkness for 15 years and above. At least he can also speak for himself or herself that enough of this darkness. And a lot of people believe that what we are saying is different from what the people in power are saying. But the people in power is supposed to know that what is the demand of the people. It is the demand of the people that those who are in power will listen to and work towards it. So what we are saying is we are tired of darkness. A lot of people cannot go into investments because when you put in investment, there's no way it can grow. No electricity, nothing is being done there. Our place is full of darkness. Imagine during the time of festival, once it is 6 o'clock, everywhere is full of darkness. And this is a community. This is a community that have been doing, producing, and also contributing to the growth of Delta State. So it is our right that the government have to listen to us. And let me just throw this. The Deputy Governor, Oyema, saying that we are making noise, or it's just a noise making, it looks like what we are asking is not what they want to put in place. When you are leading people, you have to listen to the voice of the people. So the voice of the people will give you direction on what to fix in place. So I'm using the opportunity to tell him, Mr. Deputy Governor Oyema, that the Light of Ndokwa Movement Association is not a noise making. Rather, we are bringing into reality that this is what Ndokwa Nation needs. And this is what we are asking for. And a lot of people believe that maybe with all these threats and other things, people will back out. How can you cannot be in a river, at the same time you are complaining that soap is entering your eye. There's an adage in my language that says, so we have been inside the river, and at the same time, soap will be entering our eye. And we are saying enough of this soap entering our eye because we are inside the river. Our eyes are supposed to be open. Now the Ndokwa Nation eyes have been open that this is what we need. Thank you.
Yes. I do not know when you have this conversation with people around the community, especially with regards to the deputy governor who is one of yours. What do you think people are talking about? What is the sentiment of people Are they disappointed with everything that is going around? Yes, Comrade Moses, are you there with me? I think Comrade Lucky is still trying to express himself. But just before we let Comrade Moses speak on that particular matter, we have an excerpt of that particular video. So, Comrade Moses, we'll get back to you, but let's just have an excerpt of that particular video where we have the deputy governor speaking to his people and some of the rhetorics that he made on that particular day.
It's not a noise. That is the truth. If you don't man, it's not a noise. Can you make a noise from today to next year without action? It is useless noise.
Well, well, that is a very sad one coming from the deputy governor, stating that his people are making a noise, and a noise without action is what he termed useless. Comrade Moses, I would love you to speak on that particular matter. Like I asked before, when you go around the community, when you make phone calls, when you have conversations with people that it truly does affect, what do you think people are talking about the situation, especially for the deputy governor, Moses?
Thank you. This is Comrade Moses Onyego, reporting from Ogmen, Delta State. When we talk about the reactions of our deputy governor to this issue, it's appalling, and the people are really surprised that a father figure, a man who ought to be a father figure to the people, like Comrade Stanley rightly said, at first when we got the news that our brother and our father who is going to be the deputy governor of the state. We saw it as a blessing, but to our greatest surprise, what was supposed to be a blessing to the people is ending up being a curse to them. Because the deputy governor, Oyema, who was supposed to be the one even standing for us, that yes, what we are agitating for is the general good and the rights of every well-meaning son and daughter of Ndokwa land. As I speak with you, the youths are not happy, apart from the paid youths, because we know certainly we have those that have been paid. We have youths that have been paid, leaders of various organizations that have been paid millions before the protest, after the protest. Even just last week, there was a meeting at the country home of the deputy governor, all in the bid to see how they can silence the protest or the voice of the people. I won't call it a protest, I would say it's the voice of the people. It's the voice of the people being marginalized, the voice of the people that feel that their rights has been taken away from them. For over 25 years, a message or something that has been approved by the federal government during the days of our President Olusegun Obasanjo, like Comrade Stanley rightly said, that 50 megawatts should be stepped down to communities within 50-kilometer radius. And luckily for us, the 3 local governments making up Ndokwa Nation falls within that 50-kilometer radius. So, but it's disappointing that till date, even the administration of the past president, General Muhammad Buhari, voted billions for this same project. And yet we don't see how this IPP being stepped down. We've been hearing of the news, IPP phase 2. And as I speak to you, the IPP phase 2 is more like an abandoned project. So the people felt it's high time we hear our voices, so not just the state government, but the federal government. And before this protest was organized, far back last year, and even before now, there have been various calls from various segments and associations in Ndokwa Nation calling on the attention of the both state governments and the federal government to see how light can be restored in Ndokwa Nation, especially stepping down the IPP for the benefits of all. So the people are not happy, and So now the worst is the video you just played was the meeting that was held at the country home of our deputy governor, Oyema, just last Wednesday. And if a father that's supposed to be happy that his children are fighting and defending him because he has tried politicizing this issue, but we keep saying this protest or this organization is not a political organization. We are not affiliated to any political group. It's the voice of a people being marginalized. It's the voice of a people that still it is the right time and enough is enough of darkness in the coalition. So it is not just few persons. As you can see, we have both our brothers and sisters, even in diaspora. We have those at home. Everyone is crying out that we are tired of this darkness. And it's so unfortunate that our father, who is supposed to see it as an opportunity to back us up, sees it as if it's a war, it's a tug of war against those in government. So I want to make it clear that this protest was never intended to fight anybody, but it's a pure agitation by the people, not a group of people. It's a general cry. If you go to Okwa, the local government, the cry is the same. You go to Ndokwa West, the cry is the same. You go to Ndokwa East, the cry is the same. So it is not an issue of a selected group of people, but it is a cry from the general Ndokwa nation that yes, we want light in the Ndokwa nation. So that is it. We are not coming to agitate. We are not fighting for ourselves, our individual rights, but what we are saying is we want our rights, our benefits as an oil producing community in Delta State. We are the second largest gas deposit. We have the largest gas deposit in Nigeria. So we shouldn't be crying for such amenities as this. It's our right. We're supposed to have these amenities.
Thank you. All right, thank you so very much, Pastor Fansofeli. When you take a look at everything they've all said, your comrades, fellow comrades have all said, it points to one thing: the gatekeeping tendencies of the deputy governor.
Yes, and that is the unfortunate thing about this whole saga. The deputy governor is supposed to guide us, okay, make sure that we're not shortchanged.
Yeah.
Okay, having been denied, even the position he is today, he became a deputy governor as a result of advocacies that we started. Advocacies upon advocacies upon advocacies that even led to that position he's sitting on.
So where was he before being selected?
It was in charge of the tax board in Delta State. He was working with the tax board in Delta State before he got this. But before then, it was consistent advocacy. There was one advocacy I did directly to President Buhari. I did several when we're talking about the fact that there's no, from the states, from the president, from the federal government and all that, there's no federal presence in Ndokwa. And that even in Ndokwa, under the state, we are marginalized. We pushed that narrative, that advocacy. We sued the governor of Delta State. We took Okowa to court. We did so many things. When the funds that were embezzled by James Ibori was returned to the Nigerian government, we went to court to ask that the money be released to Delta State, like they did to Bayelsa State. We did all that. So the position he sat today was the toil, the sweat and blood of activists who fought for him to get that position today. That position now came to Ndokwa. It's now painful because we now thought that that position should be used to enhance further the cause of Ndokwa. But then when the person who now sits on the position is now using it to say that we're making noise, it's painful to say the least. And we are not fighting him because he's our father, as it were. But when the father begins to go wrong, the children will call him to order. In the absence of no other persons who is doing that, because a lot of people are psychopaths. So we have said that he's saying we should go to Abuja. Why should you go to Abuja? The essence of governance is you start from the grassroots. You table your matter before the grassroots will take it to the state will take it to the center. That is it. If we had gone to Abuja now to protest, they would tell us in Abuja that where's your governor? Where's your local government chairman? So we know exactly what they were doing the right thing. We protest in our immediate environment. From there, the message is taken home. So if I were the deputy governor, what I would have done is to, ensure that these amenities get to, our place. And it's not just about the one he's about, the BDEC, the Disco Genko thing. It's not just about that. We're talking about the main thing, okay, which have been properly highlighted. And so that must be given to us, because by right, we fall within the purpose for which that should be given. So I do not think that we should listen to further excuses.
But don't you think that no government would gladly love to deny its people what is due them? And maybe there could be an underlying issue that has not been communicated properly to the people.
That is not even the issue. The issue is, if there's anything that is militating against the enforcement of that project, that the people who are the direct beneficiaries need to be informed. Okay, so they can be carried along as to why the delay. Okay, but when it's not there, and you are saying that people, when they protest, they make noise. Now, how many of them have gone to Abuja? We don't need to go to Abuja. That is not the purpose. Okay, we protest in our immediate environment. You take the message to Abuja. You are the one that is our elected representative. You understand? So you will be the one to take it to Abuja, to go and do whatever it's in Abuja. We do not have to go to Abuja. So whatever it is that is stopping this whole project should be communicated to us. We should be carried along. We should be given a time within which, okay, look at our brother who was put in prison. I mean, he has not even explained his prison experience to us. Maybe that's where we should pick it from.
Yes, very true. Comrade Stanley, I would love you to ask to answer me on this particular very important question. Some couple of days back, about 2 weeks now, we had one of yours, the SSA to the governor of Delta State on investment. That is, what's the name? Chief Tony Amechi, right here. And I actually remember I asked him that question on this particular issue, and he said that the government is doing everything possible to ensure that everything is nipped in the bud, and that the people did not allow the government to do what they were supposed to do, but rather that the people went and overstretched themselves. So do you agree with what Chief Tony Amechi had talked about?
Thank you very much. Chief Tony Amechi, from the onset, has always been saying to the favor of the Ndokwa people. But hearing this, I don't agree to what he's saying. I don't agree to what he said, because if we want to go by what we have here in Ndokwa land, we don't need to be talking about our rights anymore, because it's not what we are looking for. It's what is due to us. Now, what will shock you, maybe you might have heard it somewhere, or you've read it in the newspaper and all that, that it is only in Ndokwa nation that you have 7 parental oil company in the entire world. It's only in Ndokwa nation. I can name them for you. We have Hajip, which is now Ando. We have Midwestern Oil and Gas. We have Sterling Energy Exploration and Production Company, SIPCO. We have Pillar Oil. We have Platform Petroleum. We have Energy Oil and Gas Nigeria Limited. We have Chorus Energy, 7. And a region that is host to such multinational companies cannot boast of electricity. So anyone from government that is saying that they've been working on it, that we went on overstretch, no, that person, I don't think that person has a goodwill of the Ndokwa people at heart. Thank you.
And I do not know if you would love to share with us, some of those very sad realities that you went through when you were incarcerated. Would you mind share that with us, if you may? It's so important as we talk about this matter.
Yeah, it's true, actually. Thank you very much. Though it was a sad experience anyway. At the time I became sick, first time, it took me to the hospital. But when I became very, very sick, they refused taking me to the hospital. They refused taking me to the hospital. If not for the intervention of the OC Lega, who happens to be a female from Urobo land, because one of our lawyers, also Barrister Jude Tejire, who is also working with Barrister Vance, was there on that day, and he told her my situation. She was the person that prevailed over the police to take me to the hospital. And I asked them, please let me do a thorough checkup. And they refused. Just a blood check and test. At the end of the day, they said I have a high level of typhoid. But I know I was very, very sick. I know my system. I know my body. It wasn't a good experience anyway. Even they refused even bringing me out to start with. Never the AC in charge of SID, Assistant Commissioner of Police, Frank Modi from Igbodo in Delta State here, asked his people, the IPO and his subordinates, that on no account should I be brought out again, that they should keep me there till when the people that asked them to keep me there will ask them to bring me out before they can bring me out. So the experience is a sad one. Honestly, it's a sad one. But I thank God at the end of the day, prevail.
Any point to get a wind of who those people are?
Since in charge in the state CID.
Okay, so all right, so let's go to Comrade Loki just before we wind up for today. Comrade Stanley had talked about 7 major oil companies operating in Ndokwa community. Like we've often had in the Niger Delta region, Shell used to be a major player in Ogoni land, and because of the issues that they had there and the complicity of the traditional rulers, Shell couldn't do very much. Do we see that playing also in Ndokwa land? Because you can't have 7 major oil companies and you can't, and still there's no electricity in the community. So is there something that we do not know, especially coming from traditional authorities and institutions there?
Yeah, thank you very much. The whole story is, whenever I remember it, is so annoying. Because, like earlier, just the way you use Shell as an example, all these companies supposed to also have their own part of contributing to our communities. But the system has been adjusted. It will be surprising to hear that even our own people, the job opportunity that is being given to them is nothing more than what I call it, security. So the injustice on the people of Ndokwa Nation is on a high level. It's very much on a high level. And I believe that even both the elder men or the people in government, they have already adjusted the system. Because for a 7 company to be operating in our own land, and we are not even having any dividend from them, that yes, this community, how can this company be operating? They have like 24 hours. But the people, the owner of the land, they are in darkness. So that is where you see the high level of injustice. You came to my land or you came to my house, you are making use of 24 hours of life. But I, who gave you the land to operate, you still left me in darkness. So it's a thing that the people, the government, all of them have to look into. There's a lot of things that is going with this protest. A lot of like neglecting. They neglect us because we are peaceful people. If this company that is operating in Kwale land happen to be operating in the Shekiri region or Ijo region or the Urobo region, I know what could have been happening in those communities. But that's why we are saying enough of all this. The companies are not contributing to the growth of our communities. Our land has been destroyed. Nothing is producing well. But with all these things, we are still in darkness, and our people have not been given a good offer to work in this oil company. So the injustice is alarming. It's so much alarming. Thank you.
Continue from there, especially with regards to the oil majors operating in your community and you not getting the dividends that you deserve. And secondly, if you have a one-on-one sit down with the deputy governor, what would you be telling him?
Okay, the point, the issue now is, like Comrade Stanley rightly said, before the protest, during the protest, and after the protest, we made room, there was room for dialogue, there was room for negotiation with the constituted authorities, because right since last year, we've been on this issue. And all we just wanted was, it was an awareness protest. It was not a politicized protest. It was an awareness protest that we just wanted the government to draw their attention to that enough is enough of this marginalization, and our people at this point in time want what is rightfully theirs to be given to them. We cannot be laying a golden egg and yet we roast. So it is high time there's this synergy between the people and the government. Like Barrister Kelly rightly said, it's just, we are very much open for dialogue. All we are asking of is, if there's any reason why this step down has not been actualized, they should come out open and tell the people that they are governing. Come and tell the people you are representing that this and this and this are the reasons why the step down has not been actualized. Since 2005, this is 2025. So we are talking of 25 good years. For 25 good years, something that has been approved by the federal government, allocations have been made by successive federal governments, and yet the state of things are still at a very deplorable state. So we are not shutting doors to dialogue. If the state government and the federal government come in, all we want to know is, why is the IPP phase 2 not actualized? If there's any reasons, you open up to us. Like we said, we can be housing 7 good oil companies, and yet there's nothing we can take home from those oil companies. So we are very much open for dialogue. All we are asking of is, give us what is duly ours and our rightful possession. So if we are opportunity to see or be in a roundtable discussion with the government authorities, all we are saying is, if there's any reason why our IPP has not been stepped down, then let us know. We have been agitating for IPP step down, nothing was done. But just a few weeks ago, there was a power plant that was stepped down at Agbo. While Ndokwa Nation still remains in darkness. So it means there's something the people don't know. And that is why we said we want to know. We are not fighting anybody. What we're asking of is, we want to know why the IPP has not been stepped down. If it is for us to know the persons in charge, if it's some agency, if it's some persons that are standing on mitigating the development of Ndokwa Nation, we need to come out and fight for our rights. That is what we are saying. So it's an open dialogue. We are not. It's not a politicized protest. It's not. We're not fighting any individual person. So we are very much open for dialogue with the state government because we are not against the state government. We are not against the deputy governor. It's a father to the Ndokwa nation. We know that. But what we are saying is, when your children are crying out to you as a father that this is a pain, you are supposed, as a father also, to listen to them, reason with them, and see what you can do to ameliorate those pain instead of calling them noisemakers. Like my fellow comrade, Mr. Lucky said, if this were happening in the Ijaw nations, we would have been hearing of pipeline vandalization. But I can authoritatively tell you, you hardly or there's no place you hear of pipeline vandalization in the three local governments of Ndokwa nation. And we have various companies scattered all over. We have pipelines all across our backgrounds. But yet, our youth are so peaceful. We are not on the type that go about vandalizing government properties. Even during the protests, even after all the attacks, yet there was no government property that was destroyed. There was no vandalization. The people were still being peaceful. They maintained their peace even after the police brutality. So that's to tell you how peaceful the Ndokwa people are. So we are saying the government should come. Let's sit on a round table. Let's know if there's any reasons why our IPP phase 2 has not been naturalized. Then you speak to us. We are your children, we are your people. We are not fighting anyone. So we're very much open for dialogue. So all we are asking of is enough of darkness and marginalization of Ndokwa people.
All right. Thank you so very much, Barrister. Just before we wind up for today, where do we go from here?
Yes, where we should go from here is that first, we should remember that this Delta State government has charged Stanley Ado to court, Mr. Stanley Ado to court, okay? And we are on that case. Also, it should be stated that we have also filed a fundamental right enforcement proceeding against the state government for the enforcement of the fundamental right of our kinsmen who were injured, whose properties were destroyed, and we're asking for a certain level of reparation. We're asking for a solace, and should do something about that. That is where we're going from here. We are not dissidents. We are not fighting the state government. We are only asking that our fundamental rights be guaranteed as it is stated in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999. And we are backed up by law in whatever we do. We have not taken arms against the state. We are not sabotaging the government of the state. In fact, I would say that the government of Sheriff Oborowori is doing reasonably well in Delta State in terms of infrastructure within the state capacity.
But not extending it to
then I will say that yes, I have never promoted any government in Delta State. But for this one, not that he's doing so much, but at least he's doing little, okay, that you can see visibly, okay. But we're saying that the economic injustice in the area of Delta State must be addressed. It's not just light. Light is just one among many. Not too long ago, there's a bridge that was awarded